Within 2 years of opening his Pretoria restaurant, Chefs at 566, Brett has steered it into the top 10 restaurants in South Africa. He's followed up with a book about the most extraordinary period in his life.
Brett, you worked for our beloved Madiba for over 5 years, so you got some really intimate knowledge about him, and now you're sharing that with readers in your new book.
The whole thing with the book is it's called Mandela Appreciation Club, because the only people that actually came to our country was to come and meet this remarkable man. So I was blessed to live with him, see where he, when I say grew, because he actually grew into the president, not that he needed anywhere to go from there, and then I met all the people that came along to show their respect. Come along, let me show you.
The years of Nelson Mandela's term of office from 1994 onwards inspired the decor.
Brett, the thing I want to know is, like, how do you take those incredible life experiences, being so close to someone like Madiba and all these figures around the world, and then translate it into your first restaurant and bring all those memories here?
I wanted it to be a destination venue where people have to come to me to make effort to come and enjoy what I cooked for kings and queens. And it was very important that the average man in the street can eat and enjoy the food that all these celebrities and royalties and presidents have eaten around the world. Now, this is a very important picture to me because that is actually the presidential guest house. On the top left-hand corner over there, that is the wing that we stayed in. The top right corners that's the wing where the president stayed in. So as you can see, we're very, very close together and everything else like that. The picture just above that, why that was so important, because that's actually where the inauguration took place, right over there. And then, yes, then obviously we got the picture of the desk.
I mean,
sitting.
It's not just any desk. That desk right there is where Madiba wrote Long Walk to Freedom. You left that part out, which is very important.
Well, very
incredible.
True. No, well, it was. I mean, for many a night, Professor Chaval sat there and they composed and they compiled and they compiled. It was interesting to sit there with my own eyes and one day just sat and realized this is where history was made.
And then there's an incredible picture of Madiba meeting your son over there.
Oh, well, that is fantastic. I mean, the reason why it is up there, because I want people to understand who he is. And a lot of people ask me, how was the president? So we were there, I would say 2-3 months. And the one day I heard a knock on the door, and Trisnut there stands the president. I'm like, oh, yes. And he said, let me sit. And he sat with my son. He was teaching him the different colors of the rainbow. And the next day, there was actually a state banquet going on. And it started a little bit early, because the president didn't like to have him too late. And my son came back from school, and obviously there he runs into the banquet hall to come and thank the president. And he's like, Tata, Tata. And I said, that's President Mandela. So my son said, no, it's Tata. For the president to inform me, apparently the last 3 weeks, every night, my son sneaked out of the room and went and sat and spoke to him. So they were very good friends, without me even knowing that.
That's an incredible... I can't wait to read this book, man.
Thank you.
And then I'm noticing the menu. You've got all those famous people up there. So if you want to order what they ate, you just order their name, right?
Correct, yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's go see where the magic happens.
Yes, please, let's go on.
Cool.
I'll follow you.
Chef Lads was 3 years out of matric when Madiba entrusted him with such responsibility. And Brett's son Max is now a sous chef in this kitchen.
Right.
Okay, let's put an apron on first.
Okay.
Very important part of this, you know what I'm saying to you.
How does this work? Just tie it?
Yeah, that's it. Just tie it at the back.
Okay. Cool, and this must be your son.
This is my son, Max.
Max, how are you, bud?
How you doing, sir?
Cool, man. So this is you're following in your dad's footsteps?
Definitely, sir. With a great man like him and a passion of chefing, so nothing will stop him.
He left sports, he left everything. He just wants to be a chef, and that's
really?
all.
So you're passionate about it, obviously. We'll catch up with you for mains. You're going to handle starters, all right?
Yes, sir.
The sir.
Yes.
Jonathan. Did you always want to be a chef, or did you? Was it just following your dad's footsteps? You were like, this is something I always wanted to do.
I wake up loving it. I go to bed loving it.
So did you pick up a lot of tips from your dad growing up, obviously?
A lot. In life and in the kitchen.
A starter of salmon souffle was a favorite when the president was entertaining dignitaries.
So now where most people struggle with the souffle is that you're looking for this consistency, that marshmallow fluffiness. And if you don't whip it right, it doesn't rise right. So now the secret when it comes to finishing this off is you're trying to get that around.
So you're trying to keep it fluffy. All right. Thanks, Max.
That's a beautiful souffle.
That's a great start, man. I see you got to definitely inherited some of your dad's skills. Let me go catch up with him for the main course.
Thank you.
Of the many heads of state he cooked for, hosting the British monarch stood out for Brett.
Okay, chef.
Oh, welcome back.
Starters are done.
Good.
What's for mains?
Let's start doing a beef Wellington.
Okay.
Let's start prepping the vegetables.
Cool.
What I've done so far is I've just cut the ends off.
You know, I'm a proper bachelor. I don't know nothing about
Doesn't matter. We'll do
kitchen.
it. Fake it until you make it.
Okay. Now,
Beautiful.
there's a cool story behind the Wellington. There's a reason we're doing this dish, right?
No, well, definitely. This actually was the dish that I served at Queen Elizabeth and Nelson Mandela's state banquet. And it's one of the popular dishes. And obviously, one of the top 10 harder dishes to make.
What makes it hard?
Whenever you do meat in that, obviously there's a lot of moisture in the dish itself. And if there's any moisture in the meat, it's going to then suck up all the moisture in the meat.
That is going to do that.
That's
the flavor, right?
Not really flavor, but it'll keep the flavor in on the meat.
Yeah, okay.
All right. But you see, the secret now is everything's cold.
Okay.
You see, as you can feel.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a bit of mushroom around here. Get that to stick on. Now here comes your flavor, okay? You happy with that?
Yeah, that looks good.
Now we're going to take the spinach. I'm going to just put a little bit on at the bottom like this for you. Now we're going to take it, we're going to wrap it. We roll it around. You can see that there.
Okay, yeah.
Bit of egg just to seal it.
Okay.
And there we have your Wellington.
If Her Majesty came across as especially warm when Chef met her, it may have been because she'd just tried his cooking, which has its adventurous side too.
So what they're going to do is they're going to bring out 3 different creams that have been flavored: strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. Only thing is we're going to do, we're going to take liquid nitrogen ice cream, which is minus 196 degrees, and ask you slowly to pour it in. 40-second ice cream.
It's a fancy way of making ice cream. But now this is a very popular dish with all the ministers, right? They always requested this.
They love this. When they saw it at the state banquet, whenever President Mandela had anything with all the ministers, this was definitely the dish that they wanted to do.
Dishes like these had music producer Quincy Jones singing and Cuban President Fidel Castro offering Brett one of his famous cigars.
There we go.
That's crazy. I've never seen that before. I had no idea you can make ice cream like that.
Hey? Yeah. Not even a minute you got your own ice cream. Wait till you taste it.
Proper ice cream. That is so cool. Completely transformed.
Running the presidential guest house while preparing all meals was an eye-opener, and Brett's book has hilarious references to some of the requests from visiting diplomats and royalty.
I need you to take this now and light it like that. Just pull it down and light it. Here.
It gave Chef pleasure to make Madiba a cup of rooibos tea, but when called on to create a showstopper, he delivered.
Perfect. In the words of Max, sir, well done. You made a baked Alaska.
Good job.
#1 in the world. Well done. Congratulations.
That is so cool. Check that out. All the surprises that await you under that meringue.
Aside from the associations which come with each dish, Brett has designed his restaurant so guests can interact with him. In the food, stories and atmosphere, that Madiba magic lives on.
The cool thing about this menu is you can really imagine yourself at those state banquets. And
you can feel it.
It's got that energy about it. It's got the, you can really picture Queen Elizabeth eating this, or Prince Charles, or Madiba.
Well, the big thing is that whatever we catered for was to make sure we had fresh and we use South African produce. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. And it's just how you make it look. So the potato we use as garnish. Just try a bit of the potato there.
What's it with the pear-shaped? I've never seen a pear-shaped potato before.
It's just do something different.
Yeah?
Something just different on the plate that looks pretty. And one big thing I must tell you that President Mandela really loved was people just come and drop off fresh produce at the estate the whole time.
Yeah.
And what he really enjoyed, and I mean, this is going to a state banquet, but his personal experience was that whatever we got dropped off always had a note. So you'd make something with that produce, like a rhubarb for argument's sake, and you'll say, this and this person dropped this off. And you know that he'd always get Mary, his secretary, to write a letter and thank them for that rhubarb.
Well, that's the man that we know, eh?
It's a place where memories are respectfully celebrated, but never overcooked, and the food speaks for itself.